Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button, and keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or in trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Wednesday, November 22nd. We're going to take a look at T2 today. So it's been a while since we looked at T2. We were all over it back in these days. But I thought we would do a quick update. Now, there's an interesting thing that's happening here. One, this downtrend resistance that we talked about several videos ago, and I had said, it could, try to move upward to break and get some distance from that downtrend resistance, or could kind of sidestep. And then my worry on either of those things, if it starts to just kind of curl back down toward it and either risks following it down just outside of it or risks falling right back underneath it because it's so close, it's done a really good job of getting significant distance from it. So it would have to do like a catastrophically bearish maneuver in order to get itself back under here, because at this point, I can't even really zoom out far enough to see where it is. So like that price point is maybe in the negative. I don't know. Is that what this is saying? But it's really far down. So I feel decent, even though it's continued to kind of trickle downward, right? It's making a new low here, 376. It's done a good job of getting out and distance from that downtrend resistance. Now what's happening is this larger outside downtrend resistance, right, that was kicked off at this huge push up well before the reverse split that we have here, but confirmed several times. It's getting mighty close to that at the moment, right? So it's really near into that. And this is a really steep downtrend. And so we'll see what it does if it runs into that. Even if it continues to put in the same motion, slightly downward, mostly to the side, it's going to hit it relatively quickly. And so I'm interested to see what it does. Now, I'm not going to put in additional levels to the downside because we're just kind of making more lows, right? If it does start to come up, there's a new level it's kind of establishing here, right around 413. Again, not to clutter up the chart too much, I'm going to leave it off for now. Because I want to see what it does when it runs into this downtrend resistance. If it brushes off of it again and pushes downward, then I'll add in some lower levels and we'll just delete some of these to the upside. But I don't want to do that just yet because it's going to happen pretty quickly, pretty soon, and I would rather just kind of wait and see. Now, if it does break this downtrend resistance, whether that goes to the upside or breaks it by just kind of continuing to sidestep through it, I would want it to do this exact same thing. Get some distance from it, significant distance from it, even more so this one, because this one is more well established than this one was. This one has been in play for a much longer period of time, and so that's sort of more the bane of T2's chart existence than this one for sure. But this is a really good example of getting significant enough distance where it's sort of out of any immediate danger of falling back into that previous downtrend resistance. Now, if it does move upward, you see all the levels here, 540, 706. These are pretty spread out, but there's not a ton of price action to go off of. So that's just what they are at the moment. There's also this gap. It would get into this gap to the upside at 1032. It would, encounter a few resistance levels in between, and then it would fill it at 1650. Then there's another gap to the upside that it would enter at about 23. It would fill it at 2662. And we're talking about obviously huge, massive percent gains if it's able to get through there. And this is not me saying if it gets through there next week or before the end of the year or whatever, just, over some period of time, if it finds itself back up there again. I just thought I would note that. I'm not saying that they'll come into play or that it'll ever fill it, but just to note that those are up there, aside from the things that stand out more, which are these, blue resistance levels. Now, on the Thinkorswim study, what it did in this look is it came and left the lower bound of the channel, which is what you would expect, that huge drop, and then the sidestep has just kind of gotten itself back into the channel, but it's not yet shown the bullish prowess yet to be able to even make an attempt at the mid-range of the channel. It still is just continuing to shrug off of this red wave cloud, or you could say this low mid bounded the channel, this grayish line here, that one coming down has, been where it's shrugging off of. So say it's there or say it's the red wave cloud, it's basically the same thing. That said, take this for what you will, but the histogram at the moment is as baseline as it has been in a very long time, right? This bearish momentum that picked up tried to die down, but then just picked up again and then picked up even more and for a longer period of time again. Now, since that has played out, we're sitting baseline, but we're not yet sitting mid-range of the channel. So my big question at the moment is, this baseline in the histogram may mean next to nothing if T2 can't even get the bullish oomph to press the mid-range of that channel. So that's what I'm looking for at the moment as far as this setup goes. And short of that, obviously there's not going to be a way to neutralize or reverse the trend without pressing the mid-range of that channel and flipping that. All right, folks, I hope that your week has been going well. And as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.